Hello, welcome to my class on how to prevent and/or de-escalate a tense situation. I'd like you to imagine for a minute that you and a customer, friend, or colleague are engaged in a tense situation. How do you think that conversation is going to go? Let's look at one situation and how the conversation went.
Buzz! Buzz! Ha! You're alive! This is great! Oh! I'm saved! I'm saved! And he'll find you here. He'll take us back to the room, and then you can tell everyone that this was all just a big mistake. Huh? Right? Buddy?
I just want you to know that even though you tried to terminate me, revenge is not an idea we promote on my planet.
Oh, well, that's good.
But we're not on my planet, are we?
No. Okay. Come on. You want a piece of me?
Fighter to the rescue. Oh, no. Pizza Planet, yeah!
Andy.
In this class, as you saw in that video, we're going to address 5 learning objects. We're going to look at environmental signs during interaction that could escalate a tense situation. Then we're going to look inward, and we're going to break down and examine our own personal qualities that could escalate a situation. Then we're going to take what we learned from modules 1 and 2, and we're going to combine knowledge to create a plan for de-escalation. And then the next thing we're going to do is we're going to use the plan to de-escalate a mock situation. And lastly, in all situations, in any plans you create, we're going to evaluate the structure and effectiveness of our plan. You just got to participate in part of what I call and what's going to happen in Module 1, called View and Analyze, where you view a mock situation and you look for those environmental traits, signs, cues, or triggers. And then you're going to analyze how those signs, cues, or triggers impacted the interaction. For instance, notice the escalated way that Buzz uses his voice to get after Woody. And then, when Buzz attacks Woody, Woody says, "All right, you want a piece of me? I'm going to go at you." You can learn a lot from that video when it comes to environmental signs, cues, triggers, or Then we go to Module 3. Remember I said we have to look inward? This is where we get to look at our own list of personal traits that could trigger an escalation. And then we're going to examine that list of personal traits, and we're going to create a list of alternative traits that could be used to substitute the trigger ones in tense situations. For instance, if I was to pick some personal traits of my own, I would say that sometimes I don't smile enough, or I smile awkwardly. Other things that I would say about myself is I get easily frustrated with things that are not in my CDO mentality. For those of you who don't understand, that is OCD in alphabetical order. Then in Module 3, this is our compare and use. What we're going to do is we're going to compare what's Module 1's list and Module 2's list, and we're going to find some commonalities. For instance, if I was to find commonalities between the great Buzz Lightyear and Colonel Smith from the A-Team, I would say they both like to smile. That is a commonality between the two of them. Then we're going to use the commonalities and list of substitute traits from Module 2 to create a list of approaches to de-escalate a situation. Module 4. This is getting excited, isn't it? Now we're going to design and assess. We're going to gather all of our information from Module 1 through 3, and we're going to design a plan. And hopefully the plan will help us prevent and de-escalate a tense situation. We're going to assess the elements of the plan to assure that it addresses everything that we've covered up to this point. Because as Colonel Smith likes to say, I love it when a plan comes together. Lastly, in Module 5, what good is a plan if you don't implement it, evaluate, and adapt it? So that's what we're going to do. We're going to implement a plan in a mock situation. We're going to evaluate how it affected the situation and adapt to areas that are needing improvement. One special note is adapting or evolving a course of action is the key to learning new ways to de-escalate a situation. The hope is that through this plan that you'll be able to walk out of this course knowing how to prevent or de-escalate a situation in the future. Because as we know, Colonel Smith.
What's it say?
It says, I love it when a plan comes together.
All right, guys, that's introduction to the course. I hope you're ready to go. I know our team is. So let's begin the course.